As a cross-border financial advisor, by far the question that we get the most is, hey Brian, I worked in Canada for a number of years, I've worked in the US for a number of years, I'm now approaching retirement here in the US. Do I still qualify for a Canadian pension plan? And if so, how much will I get? And how does it impact my US Social Security benefits? If those are some of the questions that you have as you're approaching retirement, this video is for you. Hello there, my name is Brian Haggard. I'm a certified financial planner, chartered financial analyst, and I'm the founder of Retirement and Financial, in which we help simplify your cross-border retirement plan. And today we're going to talk about, again, probably the thing that we talk about the most with our clients is how do we combine our Canadian pension plan, or CPP, and our US Social Security. So the main things that we're going to talk about are some of the basics of your CPP. We're going to talk about this ugly WEP reduction or Windfall Elimination Provision if you haven't heard of it before. And then we're going to talk about strategies for turning on your CPP and your US Social Security benefit as a US resident. So let's start off with some basics of CPP, a Canadian pension plan. Now I'm going to refer everything to or as CPP today. It is possible in which the last province that you worked at was Quebec. And if that's the case, that there's a possibility that you're actually going to receive the Quebec pension plan or QPP instead of CPP. They really work very, very similarly. And so I'm going to reference everything as CPP. So a little bit about CPP. It's very easy to qualify for. As long as you've worked in Canada for at least a year, there's a good chance that you've paid into your Canadian pension plan. And as a result, no matter if you're retiring in Canada or here in the US, you should have some benefits that you can collect from. CPP, the maximum benefit right now in 2023 is about $1,300 per month. Now you're probably, if you've worked part of your career in the US and part of your career in Canada, you're probably not going to see all of that benefit. You're going to probably get a part of that benefit based on how much you worked here. So for example, maybe you worked in Canada for 20 years full time before moving to the States. And if that's the case, maybe you'll see your age 65 benefit would be half that, maybe $600, $650 instead of that full $1,300. With CPP, you can start drawing it as early as age 60. The Canadian government says that your full retirement age is age 65. That's where that $1,300 benefit comes. But you can actually delay and grow your CPP benefit all the way up until age 70. With CPP, it's really nice. If you're collecting your CPP benefit here in the States, Canada actually doesn't withhold anything for taxes. You can actually get that money directly deposited right into a US bank account, and that money will go in without Canada without holding anything. Now here in the States, they will tax you still. But one of the benefits of that is it will actually typically be counted as Social Security income for taxation purposes here in the States, which many states don't tax Social Security benefits. And federally, you're going to get a little bit of tax benefit as well with that money being counted as US Social Security. So there's some really nice things about collecting CPP here in the States, but there's one really big negative, and that's called the Windfall Elimination Provision or WEP reduction, which we'll talk about next. Okay, let's get down to what the WEP reduction is and what it really means for you. So here in the United States, if you have earned a pension from a company, an organization, or a country like the CPP in which you did not pay Social Security taxes when you earned that benefit, and you also have a Social Security benefit as well, you may have a WEP reduction because of that. Now, you may think that's crazy. We think it's crazy as well. There's nothing, please don't shoot the messenger. There's been a lot of talk about maybe getting rid of or eliminating this WEP. President Biden actually ran against this a couple of years ago to get rid of WEP. There's been some committees about getting rid of WEP, but for now it's still in place, so we have to discuss it and plan for it. So let's talk about how much you may be subject, how much of your U.S. Social Security benefit can be reduced because of this WEP reduction. So if the maximum WEP reduction in 2023 is about $560 per month or so, and that's for somebody who has lived and worked and paid less and paid into Social Security for less than 20 years. Now, a year of Social Security, it's actually called substantial earnings. And so you have to have earned about $30,000 in 2023 to count for a year towards your WEP reduction, towards your Social Security benefits. Now that's inflation adjusted. So 20, 30 years ago, that number was quite a bit lower to go over that hurdle, right? And so that maximum reduction, if you have less than 20 years of U.S. work, could be up to $560 per month. And every year that you work, that reduction goes down. So for somebody who has 25 years of work, your maximum WEP reduction might only be $280 per month at your full retirement age. And once you get to 30 years of substantial earnings here in the States, you would have no more WEP reduction. Now, you may be saying, hey, Brian, why would I turn on my Canadian pension plan, my CPP benefit? It's $200 or $300 per month, and I get a $500, $600 reduction in my U.S. Social Security benefit. And the answer is you wouldn't, right? But here's the second part of the equation. You never lose more than half of your CPP benefit at full retirement age. Your WEP reduction will never exceed more than half of that. Now, that also includes private pensions from Canada as well, but let's just assume that you only have a CPP benefit from Canada. Let's say that CPP benefit is $400 per month. You wouldn't lose that $560 per month of WEP reduction. You would lose half of that CPP benefit. If it was $400 US per month, your maximum WEP reduction at full retirement age would be $200 US per month once you turn on Social Security. The second part of this, though, is that it's really important to remember is this is your full retirement age. So the WEP reduction doesn't start until you've turned on your Social Security benefit. So you could turn on CPP at 65, but your WEP reduction doesn't start until you turn on your U.S. Social Security benefit or at 67, or vice versa. If you turn on your Social Security benefit first, the WEP reduction doesn't start until you turn on your CPP benefit or your private pension at that point. The other thing to be mindful of is I'm talking about full retirement age. So like your maximum WEP reduction may be $200, $300 a month at your full retirement age. If you do delay your Social Security benefit above and beyond full retirement age, you will see that maximum WEP reduction actually does go up a little bit, because what happens is your full retirement age benefit gets reduced, and therefore the growth rate by delaying your Social Security benefit, it gets reduced as well. It's not growing as fast for you. So those are just some things to consider when you're turning on, or when you're thinking about turning on your CPP and Social Security benefits. Okay, let's talk about some strategies for turning on your CPP and your Social Security, given the fact that you may have a WEP reduction, right? First of all, I want you to also know we're not discussing OAS at all, the old age supplement. This is another benefit that most of our clients, most of you are probably also eligible for, but your OAS benefit does not impact your WEP reduction. So we're kind of leaving that out of the fold for now. We'll have another video on OAS benefits in the future. But for now, your OAS benefit does not impact WEP, so it does not determine when we are turning that benefit on. So let's talk about the different strategies for turning on CPP and OAS, right? One strategy is, as soon as you retire or at 62, you turn on both Social Security and your CPP benefit. Certainly that is the lowest amount of Social Security and CPP that you're going to get per month. It's also going to typically be the smallest WEP reduction that you're going to have as well. And some people who have been retired and need that additional income, it may make sense for them to do that. Others will delay both CPP and Social Security all the way till 70 years old. That's the maximum that you can delay both those benefits. Now, that's where both of your benefits are going to be the greatest, but it's also going to be where you're going to have the most WEP reduction when you do turn on your CP, or when you do turn on your Social Security benefit as well, especially if you don't have 30 years of US work. The strategy that we probably recommend or suggest the most often is turning on your CPP benefit earlier and then delaying your Social Security benefit until your full retirement age, or for most of us, that's between 66 and 67 nowadays. And so, how does that look, right? So maybe you retire at 62 or 65, and at that point, you might turn on CPP immediately. Now, at 62, it may be at a reduced amount, but the nice thing about turning that CPP benefit on early is twofold, right? One is by turning the benefit on earlier, you're getting a smaller CPP benefit, which means that when you do turn on your Social Security benefit, remember, the maximum that you can lose is half of that CPP benefit. So that actually reduces your WEP reduction when you do turn on Social Security. The second benefit of that is if you're retired and you need a little bit of income in those early years of retirement, it's nice to be able to get that CPP benefit, and there's no WEP reduction at all until you turn on Social Security. So you're getting that CPP benefit for a few years prior to any WEP reduction. So there are some benefits of getting the CPP benefit turned on a little bit earlier. Thank you so much for listening today. My name is Brian Haggard, certified financial planner, chartered financial analyst, and founder of Retirement and Financial. These are the type of issues that we deal with every day as a cross-border financial planner. If you're interested in working with a cross-border financial planner to help simplify your cross-border retirement, feel free, please come to our website, retiremitten.com, and you can find some more resources there, as well as schedule a time to meet with one of our cross-border financial advisors. Like any information, please use this as education in nature. I strongly suggest speaking with a financial advisor, a CPA, somebody before implementing these strategies. Unfortunately, I've seen a lot of people before coming to us kind of implement some strategies and find out that they've made mistakes later. So strongly suggest talking to somebody before implementing any of these strategies. Thank you so much for listening. We look forward to talking to you soon. Bye now.